Hi guys, this is George, Senior Editor of ErgonomicTrends.com. In this video, I'll go over the major types of movements the human wrist is capable of making, plus the most common wrist injuries one can incur from poor ergonomics. The second part is especially important, so be sure to watch till the end. Our wrist is capable of many diverse movements and positions. So let's start with neutral position. The neutral position for our wrist refers to a position where no major forearm muscles are engaged to maintain the posture. For most people, this is the same position as when one is resting his arms to the sides, palm facing the body. This is commonly referred to as the handshake position. Next up is wrist flexion. This refers to bending your wrist downwards towards the floor. The required threshold of wrist flexion to perform most daily tasks is 54 degrees. We perform our wrist flexion in routine tasks such as styling our hair or writing. Moving along, wrist extension refers to bending your wrist backwards towards the posterior section of your forearm. The required threshold of wrist extension to perform most tasks is found to be 60 degrees. Common tasks that involve wrist extension include combing your hair, typing, and pushing the desk away from you to get up. The next type of common wrist movement is ulnar deviation. This refers to the pivoting of your wrist towards the little finger or ulnar bone. When you move a horizontal mouse to the right or use your pinky finger to press the enter button on the keyboard, your wrist performs an ulnar deviation. The opposite of ulnar deviation is radial deviation. This points to the bending of your wrist towards the thumb or radial bone. The normal radial deviation range is 20 degrees. When you move a horizontal mouse to the left or use the trackpad on your laptop, your wrist will often perform a radial deviation. Next up is forearm pronation, which refers to the rotation of the forearm counterclockwise so the back of your hand is facing you, such as when you're grabbing the handles of a bicycle. Normal forearm pronation range is 90 degrees. The opposite of pronation, forearm supination, refers to the rotation of the forearm clockwise so the palm of your hands is facing upwards. When you're holding a plate or tray from the bottom, you are performing a forearm supination. Now let's look at the most common types of wrist and hand injuries that can result from poor ergonomics. This is a section you want to pay special attention to. And as always consult a doctor if you feel like you have one of these symptoms. First up, we have the dreaded carpal tunnel syndrome, which is a progressive condition that's characterized by the compression of the median nerve. It occurs in over 2.7% of the population and is most prevalent in women. In the office, overuse of a mouse and keyboard is a contributor to carpal tunnel syndrome. Tendinitis refers to pain in the joints area of the body. A common form of tendinitis in the arms is tennis elbow, characterized by extreme pain on the outside of the elbow. The most susceptible group of people to tennis elbow are athletes, painters, carpenters, and butchers, who frequently overload the tendons in their elbows. De Quervain's tenosynovitis is a condition in which the tendons controlling the thumb becomes inflamed, resulting in intense pain in the thumb side of the wrist. There is positive association between frequent and high-speed texting and developing De Quervain's tenosynovitis. Intersection syndrome is characterized by intense pain in the top side of a wrist and forearm. Activities that require forceful flexion and extension of a wrist can lead to intersection syndrome. Radial tunnel syndrome is often characterized by dull, aching pain on the top side of the forearm due to sustained pressure on the radial nerve. Radial tunnel syndrome is most common in women between 30 to 50 years old. Last but not least, we have cubital tunnel syndrome, which is caused by pressure to the ulnar nerve. There are numerous causes for cubital tunnel syndrome. Excessive force applied to the elbow for a long time, such as resting your arms on a hard armrest, or frequent bending of the elbows, such as holding a cell phone to talk, can lead to the condition. I hope you found this video helpful. Always consult a doctor if you feel any pain or discomfort in your wrists and arms. And check out ergonomictrends.com or click on the links in the description below for more actionable tips on preventing wrist pain when working at home or in the office.